Alright, hello, welcome. In this video I'm going to be doing more product and quotient rule examples, and I'm going to be working through the extra practice set for BC Homework 2.2. Alright, so let's get to it. So find the derivative of the function in terms of f of x and x. There it is. Okay. So I'm probably going to just do these first four on a post-it note because it'll be pretty quick. Right? Okay, yeah. Still having a shot. So, number one, dy dx, or y prime, whatever you want to call it. See me. Y prime is going to be equal to take the derivative of x to the 3. That's 3x squared. Leave f of x the same. Then add n, leaving x to the 3 the same, taking the derivative of f. Okay. Then, number two, y prime is going to be take the derivative of f, leave sine x the same, then add in, leaving f of x the same, taking the derivative of cosine, or of sine, which is going to be cosine. Third one, okay, I'm going to apply the quotient rule, and it's going to be bottom times the derivative of the top minus the top times the derivative of the bottom divided by the bottom squared. And then the fourth one is going to be, okay, f of x over 1 minus x. Oh, right, so bottom derivative of top minus top derivative of bottom divided by bottom squared. All right, that's the first four. All right, number five. Ooh, this one might have been on the homework set. Yeah, I feel like that was. Yeah, I'm gonna skip that one because I've already done it. And in this video, I'm really trying to focus on the graph and table examples because I already did a whole bunch of the. Yeah, here. Yeah, I mean, is this even? Yeah, this is a different homework than I just worked, but. You know, some of these are going to end up being the same. I'm actually going to pause and see which of these did I already do in the last video. All right, it's looking like there is significantly more overlap on this set than I thought. In fact, I believe that 10, 11, 12, and 13 are also on the homework I actually assigned. So I'm not sure. I think I thought there was, this was a completely different set of problems. This is... In general, the extra practice problems are what I assigned when we were remote before. But I've got some that I have not worked. I don't think I actually went and did all of these in the previous video. So I'm going to show you, how a person would get these formulas if they needed to. So I think I know I did tangent. But maybe I'll do the other three. I'll do secant, cosecant, and cotangent. Okay, so the derivative of... Oh, wait. Yeah, secant x is the derivative of 1 over cosine x. So I could use the quotient rule there. Screw that up. Bottom times the derivative of the top minus the top times the derivative of the bottom. Barely on. Divided by bottom squared. Okay, so that's positive sine x over cosine squared x. Okay, sine x over cosine x, that's going to be tangent. I'm going to have an extra power of cosine down here. That's secant, that's tangent. So it's secant x. Tangent x is the derivative of secant. I can do another one. So let's look at the derivative of cosecant. Okay, so I'm going to rewrite that as the derivative of 1 over sine x. So that's bottom times the derivative of the top minus the top times the derivative of the bottom. Derivative of sine is cosine x divided by the bottom squared. So what I have is negative cosine over sine. So negative cosine x over sine x times 1 over sine x, and that's negative cosecant x cotangent x. Okay, and then I guess cotangent I can do for you. That's the derivative, write it as a fraction, cosine over sine. Okay, and that's going to be bottom times the derivative of the top. So sine of x times negative sine of x is negative sine squared x minus the top times the derivative of the bottom. That's cosine x times cosine x divided by the bottom squared. Okay. Well, I could just factor out the negative, and that would become a positive. And so I'll have sine squared plus cosine squared. I know that's 1. Negative 1 over sine squared. That's going to be, hold on just a second, that's going to be negative cosecant squared x. I don't know why I was tripping up over that. But yeah, that's the derivative of cotangent. All right, so I'm just going to move on and just do the rest of them, and I guess this will just be a short video. If a of x is f of x times g of x, okay, so that means that a prime of x is going to be, use the product rule, f prime of x g of x plus g prime of x f of x. Okay, so a prime of 6 equals f prime of 6 g of 6 plus g prime of 6 f of 6. All right, 2, 4, 6. All right. So no sharp corners. That means everything's going to be defined. I'm not going to just have this be non-existent. So f prime of 6 is the slope here. That's negative 2. G is the height of the graph. So the height of the graph of g is 4 plus g prime is the slope of this piece, that's negative half, times f of 6, the height, that's 2. All right, that was number 14. Number 15. If b of x is x g of x, okay, well, we're going to need b prime of x first. So take the derivative of x, leave g the same. So that's going to be 1 times g of x. Plus, leave x the same, and then take the derivative of g. So it's going to be g prime of x. That means that b prime of 3 equals g of 3, which is 5, plus 3 times g prime. And g prime of 3 is 0 because this is horizontal. So it's just 5. All right. Rotate that a little bit. All right. If c of x is g of x divided by f of x, then c prime of 1 is what? C prime of x is going to be bottom times the derivative of the top minus the top times the derivative of the bottom divided by bottom squared. All right, so the value of f at 1 is going to be, that looks like going to be a half. So it goes up 3 every 2. Yeah, that's a half. Times g prime is feeling like 2, minus g at 1 is 3, and f prime is 3 halves because it rose 3 when it ran 2. And then we're going to divide by f of x squared. Well, f of x is that half right there, so that's going to be divided by 1/2 squared. Okay, that's c prime of 1. Then we can find the last one here. D prime of x is equal to bottom, derivative of top minus top, derivative of bottom. No, hold on. I was just getting ahead of myself. Minus the top times the derivative of the bottom, divided by the bottom squared. Okay, so that'll be x to the 6. D prime of 7 is going to be 7 to the 3 times f prime of 7 is looking like -2 minus f of 7 is 0, so that's just going to multiply by 3 times 49. I didn't realize that that wasn't even visible because of the camera. And then I'm going to be dividing by 7 to the 6th. So it's negative 2 divided by 7 to the 3, but this is all the same. Okay, I think that's going to be all for this video. That's all the examples that I didn't already do in the previous example video.